Elegant, measured. On April 28, 2026, the White House East Room serves as the backdrop for a critical moment in the special relationship. President Donald J. Trump and King Charles III stand before an audience of diplomats and historians, two figures whose personal histories are now intertwined with the naval heritage of their nations. The king presents a mirror-polished brass bell inscribed with the words, Trump 1944. As he hands the relic to the president, he offers a characteristically dry pun. Should you ever need to get hold of us, just give us a ring. This bell is the physical remnant of a century of naval warfare and the tactical reality of the Atlantic Alliance. To understand the modern strategic goals of the AUKUS alliance, we have to look at the history forged into this brass, a record of combat and survival that began in the shipyard during the height of the Second World War. In 1942, work began on HMS Trump at the Vickers Armstrong's shipyard in Barrow-in-Furness. While the Blitz targeted British industry, shipwrights laid the submarine's keel. This photograph captures the scale of the naval mobilization that defined the era. The HMS Trump was commissioned into the Royal Navy on June 5, 1944, exactly 24 hours before the D-Day landings began. By August 1945, the submarine was patrolling the shallow, treacherous waters of the Malayan coast during the final days of the Pacific Theater. To avoid detection, the captain executed a bumping attack. He drove the submarine down until it was physically scraping the seabed, using the ocean floor to mask its signature from the sonar of enemy surface ships. From this position, the crew fired a spread of torpedoes, sinking an enemy convoy. This strike remains the final time a British warship destroyed an enemy vessel in the Second World War. The HMS Trump didn't just participate in the conflict, it recorded the final kill of the Royal Navy's wartime service. The submarine's service continued into the post-war era, beginning with a major refit in 1948. This image shows the vessel after the installation of the SNORT induction system. This tech allowed the WW2-era submarine to run its engines while submerged, effectively turning a relic of the 1940s into a viable Cold War hunter. For 20 years, the vessel served the 4th Submarine Squadron in Sydney. It was the final Royal Navy submarine ever posted to Australia. When the Trump was decommissioned in 1969, the crew lowered the ensign for the last time. While the hull was dismantled, the ship's bell was preserved. The bell became the primary legacy of the submarine service, a brass artifact of a 1944 namesake waiting for its role in a 21st century state dinner. The modern diplomatic story began in 2025. Following a visit to Windsor Castle, King Charles toured the White House to inspect President Trump's recent renovations of the East Wing. During the 2026 state dinner, the king used historical irony to bridge the gap between the two leaders, dryly noting that the British made their own small attempt at real estate redevelopment of the White House in 1812. He continued with a jab at the linguistic divide, quoting Oscar Wilde to observe that the UK and US have everything in common, except, of course, language. The sharpest moment came when the president reflected on European history. This exchange reinforces the shared history of the special relationship, grounding the evening's festivities in a vocabulary of mutual respect. Following the presentation of the bell, King Charles addressed a joint session of Congress. He used the history of the HMS Trump to highlight the shared undersea ambitions that now define the AUKUS partnership. The combat record of the submarine serves as a historical precedent for the modern diplomatic cooperation between President Trump and King Charles III. A machine built for the Pacific War in 1944 has provided the symbolic weight needed to reinforce a maritime security pact in 2026.